Perfect. Episode 2. It is happening. Um, okay, so right now we are going to talk about different ways of studying, I guess, because like I mentioned, I went to the study group yesterday, and I think every single person has a different way of studying. Um,
Yeah,
I've I'm doing what works for me, and then I will share that with you. Um, just so if you are interested in doing the same thing or parts of it, because I'm sure you can adjust it in your own way. Um,
yeah,
so personally for me, I'm actually going through the module. And so I put so what I'm doing is I put all this um exam guide and study guide and Rich's study guide and every study guide out there in GitHub or whatever in a co-work project. And and I've kind of built a project for myself, a co-work. Um so I'll share my desktop for a bit and then I'll share something. Do you see do you see my desktop and stuff?
I can see.
Yeah. So currently I'm reviewing all these. So these are the courses, right? Um, so this is building with Claude API. I am at structure with XML tags.
The next
So
topic we are going to examine is the idea of providing structure in your prompt by using XML.
that's me. That was me. So yeah, so I go on each one of these, and what I do is I go through the tests or like what the exercise that they talk about, so that I understand specifically, and I because it's easier for me to understand while doing something. But so what I've done is, so while I am creating or reviewing all of this, of course, a lot of it is heavy code. I don't know all of it, but I need to abstract myself and understand the high level context. Although I do know that I keep falling into traps because all my questions are mainly the code and not actually the exam. And so that's why I told Claude to be like, I'm if I'm focusing too much on the code, let me know because that's not, I put it in another bucket because that's not what I should be tested on. So I can show you, um, am I sharing? Okay. So I can show you this one here. So this is my actual project that I made. Um, so the Claude Partner Network is what I've done is I've made there's a folder about this and I've basically uh created a way of saying, well, this is what I know or this is my user profile. This is what I've done. Um the big one I really enjoy is so for example, Paula notices she spends almost 70% on the coding syntax and not actually the system's architecture. So what we're trying to do is um, basically this allows me to kind of extract back and be like, no, we don't have to focus on that. We're gonna give you the concepts that you need. Because what I did is um I've over here, this is all of it, but I've fed the prep skill, the where is it? But I basically prepped the the exam guide. I don't think you can see it, but like the exam guide from Claude and Claude Partner Network PM guide. Basically I've prepped all of the things that's online as well as the GitHub. Basically saying, okay, so look at see all the things that's online right now according to the exam. Make sure that so I'm figure out what I'm learning currently at the modules and then cross sector that, or cross review that what I'm learning here. So cross-reference that with what I'm learning here. And one thing that was really cool is this progress tracker, for example. So it says that um, I didn't know this, but I'm starting at D4 because that's what this module is apparently teaching me. And so all the domains that what I've covered so far is all checked. It just checks for me. Because I basically each module that I review, I kind of feed into Claude. I say this like I ask my questions. I ask like what I'm confused by, what's not confusing. And then it updates what I've learned. And then what I really like as well is so the other stuff that happens is I ask it to keep track as to what I keep learning wrong or I keep my weaknesses, what seems to confuse me. And so for example, here, um, so I asked like, so we're talking about how to provide, we're in prompt engineering now. So what is the actual rules for that is be clear, be concise, be specific. And I was trying to there's some questions that I'm just like, what does it mean? Where was it? Um, So this is actually based on, oh, here. So guidelines is minimum, but if prompt is very workflow, then I should use a step. So that means that they say use guidelines as a minimum, which is kind of on this end, like when you're prompt engineering and you're trying to evaluate, uh, or you're trying to create like the test cases, you should create like guidelines to make it as good as possible to pass the evaluation. But if, for example, you're creating a workflow, then it's better for you to steps as well. So that type of thing. And those are the high level key stuff. And what I've done there is eh, I create a quiz every time, every day. Like I just do a quiz and like it's based off the exam. Basically, it goes through the exam guides, it goes through everything, and it creates a quiz for me that makes sense according to what I'm weak at and what I'm not doing well. And like
That's
it
so good.
tracks what like the patterns or like it tracks my it because like the way I do it as well is like so for example, um I just finished graders and criteria, which is one of the modules that you'll read. And graders is kind of like a way for you to basically score whether the output of Claude is good or not. Or it's, if it's you score it from 0 to 10 or something. And there's different ways to kind of evaluate. This is all evaluation, making sure that the output is high quality. So there's
Yeah.
model grader, there is a code grader, which is just code. There's human grader, which is manual, and this model where you actually use the LLMs like Claude. And
Yeah.
and then this is like an example of it. Like if it's 8 to 10, every timeline scores 8, 10, or higher, but when builders actually use it, half the timeline is from it's 2 days when it typically takes 3 to 6 weeks. So basically it's saying that the um every like the timeline or like the Claude's answer is actually wrong. But the but when you evaluate it, the score is high. So there seems to be a problem with it. And but that's one of the criteria that you give in it is timeline should be realistic and well organized. Well, that is very vague. What does that actually mean? So you want to create like an explicit criteria of be like, well, it has to be less than 21 days and it would catch that failure. So that's like So what I do and the way I have been working with this is I put the answer and I also put my thinking or reasoning behind those answers because Claude tracks where I'm weak and when I'm not weak. It tracks like what I'm confused by and when I'm not confused by. So it tells me what when my reasoning was solid, or it tells me when I'm um having a like I'm correct, but like it tells me where I get confused because I tell it where I'm kind of be like I think it's B, but I'm leaning D sort of situation. And then it tells me, oh, well, these are the anti-patterns, which I'm like, what is an anti-pattern? Why do you keep saying that? But basically it's just kind of just it tells me like what if I'm looking at an exam, an anti-pattern is just like what seems right, but actually it's wrong. So what tends to be the option that I would pick, that's wrong, that's technically seems right, but it's actually wrong for the exam. So that's kind of why I keep telling Claude to track my progress. And I think so, and I also have a learning gap, right? Like these are the gaps that I have, like what I'm learning. Um, exam angles. As you can see, a lot of it is like new the programming. That's why 70% of my problem is actually the programming, not actually the concept. And I'm like, no, put it into buckets. I'm actually like it makes me realize, oh, that's not actually the problem. Like I'm focusing too much on the code, not the actual exam or not actual like abstraction. So I need to do
Yeah.
that. Where is it? What it looks like. So it yeah, here like how many tests I've completed, the weak spot tracker. There we go. Like um basically it tells me I'm second guessing when when I'm like I don't remember this being in the module or um recognizing concept in new costume. So basically, I have learned it, but because they're saying it in a different name, like I understand the concept,
Yeah.
but because they're using a different vocabulary, I kind of second guess myself. So that's like a pattern that seems to happen.
Mhm.
Um, so for me, like that's what I've been doing is like um creating a way to kind of test myself, but also know what is wrong if I get
Yeah.
it wrong. Or even if I get it right, when I second guess myself, because that's my problem is like I might second guess myself during the exam. And so that's kind of what I've been doing. And then I was thinking like later or today we could even do like I uh this one, for example, is something we could all do. Like this is like mainly for a group study.
Yeah.
So for example, a B2B SaaS company use Claude this is the scenario, and then this is domain four, because that's the one I've learned so far. But we can all like learn it. And if we want to test it, we can all test it together. And that's kind of what
Yeah, I saw that.
the study group that they're doing as well, but also I want to do this because it's kind of real time and it gives us a explanation. Like
Yeah.
Claude can give us the explanation back.
Okay.
Like, but yeah, so what do you think so far? I just
About the scenario or about the whole
oh no,
process?
I just shared everything. So I've been talking
No,
a
thank
lot.
you
So
for sharing. No, it was super interesting. And then I love how you went into details into what Claude decided were your strengths or what the the weaknesses are. But they're not really even weaknesses. They're just things to be mindful of.
pretty
Um,
pretty much. Oh, it's night mode now.
cool.
Do you want to try this?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
The scenario?
Yeah? Want to like
Yeah,
try this question out?
let's go. Let's go. And then I didn't even think to like open a project on my Claude for that exam. So I know after our call, that's the first thing I'm gonna do. I found it pretty helpful too and insightful. So thank you for that.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe if I'm a little, yeah, I would love to figure out how, because I think people would love like this. Yeah, I think the system really works, at least for me. And
Hmm.
if I figure out how to like send it to people as skills, I'd give it out.
Yeah.
I'll
Or you
probably,
can just tell Claude, make that a skill.
yeah, actually I'll do that after and then I'll send it to you.
That would be so nice. But yeah, either way, I was gonna just work on
Oh yeah,
starting too because I haven't even started studying for the exam so far.
that's
We're
fine.
all at different stages, so
We are all at different stages. I just, when Rich said like it's coming in July, I was like, oh, okay, so I
yeah,
guess I should study. So
yeah,
that's what I've been
that's good.
doing.
That's so
Um,
good.
yeah. Okay, so let's try this. And I think personally for me, the reason why I couldn't really follow the group study yesterday is I've never done domain 5 yet. And because I don't know domain 5, it made no sense to me to continue. So for me, I'm like,
Yeah,
okay, we can study this and whatever you study, and we can try this next week again. And we can say like, oh, study domain 4 because I'm studying domain 4. So if you like to study domain 4, then we can keep reviewing. And then,
yeah,
we can try domain 5, domain 1, doesn't really matter. And then go to Rich's study group as well, because it's good too. Um,
yeah.
but okay, so like I mentioned, this is coming from um kind of so the prompt I got here was based off Claude, but basically, this is all I've studied. After each round, trip you up, put the exam progress tracker, like how we did. But yeah, so scenario one, a B2B SaaS company used Claude to generate personalized onboarding emails for new customers. The PM notices that sometimes Claude outputs a friendly casual email and other times a formal corporate one even for this same customer segment. The team lead suggests lowering the temperature to 0 to fix the inconsistencies. So what would you do? Um, so uh, this is basically talking about like on it like evaluation, but it seems like they really want us to focus on the temperature, the concept of temperature. Um, but a cool trick that I do as well is I use whisper, whisper flow so that while I talk this out, I just say like why I think it's B or C, and we can do that as well. So,
Okay. I'm not sure. Well, it depends. What do they want? It's a B2B SaaS. So
so
they
mhm.
want zero creativity in the emails. It it depends on the branding that they have and the guidelines, in my opinion, if I want to. But
Yeah, because that makes sense, right? Like 0 means deterministic, very like safe. 0.5 can be a little bit more like creative, could be like more consistent, but still have a little bit of room of creativity. And then 1 is like really random and creativity.
yeah.
And
Okay.
so I think that's good. But at the same time, I do think that creating that system prompt, like that system equals, and then you create a prompt. I don't know
Yeah.
whether I have it here. It's one of the first ones, but basically you kind of create a prompt that talks about the exact tone and style and
Hmm.
structure of that email. And
Hmm.
I wanna try to see if I could show it. Um, oh crap. Oh no. I put it so the whisper flow went to my cursor instead because I was trying to show it. But wait, I just prompting making a request. Oh, here, system prompts. So, add a user. Okay, so I can share. So before we answer this, I can share what I mean by system prompt. Um, so in the module here, this is kind of one of the parts of it is we talk about temperature, but we also talk about like systems. So the system prompt here is you are patient and friendly math tutor. Do not direct any answered question, guide them to solution step by step, right? So that's how you get an answer back that is, you don't Claude just doesn't tell the answer, but it actually gives the person step by step. So that's why I th or here another one's like you are a Python engineer who writes very concise code. So the system kind of becomes, hey, this is how you write it. So
Mhm.
that's kind of, and I got like some bugs. But um but I think that's why I was looking at where's Claude? That's Claude. Okay. I don't know how to get well. Here. That's why when I'm seeing this, I'm like, oh, I think the system prompt makes sense, but I don't know whether lowering
Yeah.
the temperature to zero would be good necessarily. I don't wait. Yeah, so that's why I was
Mhm.
thinking system prompts make sense because it gives the tone, the friendly, casual email,
Mhm.
or whatever the marketing wants it to be. But
Mhm.
lowering it to temperature zero just makes sure that they keep like it's more consistent words, I
Yeah.
guess, or like
Yeah.
less
Like it's fitting the guidelines and what it got fed.
pretty
It
much, yeah.
sticks to that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Switching to Opus makes no sense to me. Like that's not needed unless it's like a very particular case. Streaming
Hmm.
also makes no sense because it's not like the streaming is the whole point where you get the words as
Yeah.
as in real time.
Yeah.
So it makes no sense that if
Yeah.
it's a D. So I'm between A or B.
Mhm.
What do you think?
Yeah. I'm trying to see the difference. Lower the temperature to zero or lower the temperature to zero. Mm, I would add the system prompt personally. But
A?
yeah, yeah, rather than B.
Okay, so I would say Crystal is A and then
Yeah.
Paula is A or B. And that's like
Mhm.
the reasoning behind it. And I would feed that as like the quiz. Now I'm not paying for Whisper, so we cannot do that anymore. So we're just gonna have to write it down.
Okay,
Um,
that's okay.
but yes, so you're both right to land on A. Let me show you why A is the right answer. Because temperature controls how much randomness, but the system
Mhm.
prompt controls what the model is aiming for.
Yeah.
So our reasoning was pretty on point with that. Like temperature
Mhm.
zero without the tone just means Claude will consistently pick whatever tone it thinks is best. But
Mhm.
the system prompt is actually what will be the tone. Like if they want to be more friendly or if they want to be more corporate. Um,
Yeah.
B is the trap answer. So I think that's kind of the whole point of these exams is there's always the right answer, which is what they want us to always figure out, which is the root cause. And we want to fix the root cause. B is technically um a answer and could work, but it's kind of like I think that is what they mean by anti-pattern or it's kind of like the trap, as he says here. It's just like it will be right, but it's right as a band-aid solution. It's not like actual fix. And like, and then these ones are not really um
Relevant. Yeah.
relevant. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's how
I
I've been
forget.
studying or have been doing things
See.
is like they tell me like a scenario based on like the things that I've fed and
Hmm.
based on what I've learned so far or what I've been reviewing. And then of course it builds and builds and builds. And then whatever the weakness is, like I put in the exam. I like so to it knows to trick me as well because it can be tricked.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the part.
That's, that's super cool.
Yeah. Do you want another one?
Yeah, let's try.
Yeah. Okay. I think I do it five at a time. I should do more, but I don't
Okay.
know. Oh yeah.
Nah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna read it. A legal tech startup uses Claude to extract key terms for uploaded contracts and return them as structured JSON, ready names, dates, obligations, penalties. It works great during development, but after a model version upgrade, the JSON output starts breaking. Fields get renamed, nested objects change shape, and their downstream parser crashes. What should you do? A. Roll back to the previous model version and freeze in there permanently to avoid future breaking changes. B. Add a prefill to Claude's response, starting the assistant messages with contract terms. So it always begins with valid JSON in the expected format. C. Switch from freeform JSON output to tool use with a defined JSON schema. So the structure is enforced by the API regardless of model version. Or D. Add a post-processing step that uses regex to find and fix any malformed JSON before it reaches the parser.
Yay.
Okay.
Um, do you wanna start thinking or
Yeah.
yeah.
Is it a structure problem? I'm looking at the answer C right now, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking it's more than a structure problem, but
So that the
it's just
structure. So I'm sure that there is a tool use. I've never, so that's the thing that keeps coming up. It's one of my weak points is that I think tool use is a way to use this, but I don't remember learning it.
okay.
So that's my problem. It's just like, wait, but I think conceptually it is what's supposed to be. I do know pre-fill. Pre-fill I remember going through yesterday, and it
Okay.
is the one where you kind of oh no. Oh, we have 10 minutes. So um so pre-fill is sort of the one where you kind of like um yeah, you kind of put it all in a dictionary or you kind of make sure that they know what it should be. So they know
Mhm.
the JSON schema of the most so you really like create like a parameter or a guardrail as to what it should be. I've also learned post-processing step that you read like that kind of remove like any of the unwanted sort of
Mhm.
uh like the unwanted these things or like any structure. So that's kind of why the other one is I'm kind of in between B or
Mhm.
D. Um but B or D, Crystal. but I do understand why C makes sense too. Um, why C makes sense because I remember tool use as a way to, what do you call that, structure? JSON,
Yeah.
CSV, like, but I want to say B because pre-filling um reduces Claude's error and gives it structure, the structure you want. But that's my reasoning. What about you? Or what do you think?
I I'm not far enough to be able to answer. I was thinking it was a problem in prioritization. I was just looking at maybe at an enterprise level, they
Mhm,
have guidelines that interfere with individual guidelines.
mhm.
That's what I was thinking, but I don't know how to translate that into an answer right now. So I would say,
I'm just putting like what you say in this because
yeah,
Claude kind of gives us um
okay, then yeah, I'm just gonna answer that.
that. Okay. No
Yeah.
letter. Okay. And like that's why I like it because it allows you to reason and it gives you like a reason back. So C is the
Yeah.
right answer.
Okay.
B is the trap answer.
Mm,
Um, so C is the right answer, Paula. You actually talk yourself into the right reasoning. Tool use with adjacent schema means API enforces the structure. It doesn't matter what model you're running. The schema is the contract. So that's what I was thinking. It is a concept, but I don't remember learning tool use, which is the
yeah.
unfortunate part. B is the trap answer. This one's assigned for you, Paula. You remember correctly that pre-filling does guide Claude's output. It starts the response with what you provided, but the critical concept is pre-filling is fragile across model versions. Right, because I remember I pre-filled in Sonnet and then it wouldn't work, so I had to go haiku.
Okay.
Like so that was what happened, and that's why it tested me that, I guess.
Hmm.
Um we didn't really talk about A. D, but this Crystal, this is for you.
Yeah.
Um
This connects to your unsafe problem being structured. Okay. I have to learn more about the reject rule.
yeah, it's this one that I can I can share it with you as well. Um, but basically it just tells you to stop. So when you have a code, it doesn't because when you try to get JSON or when you output a JSON sometimes like it
Hmm.
gives Claude provides an answer and then it provides this sort of like um this sort of thing. If I
Yeah.
find it, I think I don't have a so for example, it used this would be fine, but then what it actually does is it does this part and
Hmm.
it does this part. And so what it just tells the rejects part is just telling you like remove this because all we want is that.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's what I remember it being about.
Okay.
Um, but yeah.
Okay.
We only have 4 minutes left for this call.
Yeah. No, that was a pretty cool introduction. Um,
Yeah. So do you think like next time we can actually go through like what we can do is let me know like let me know what domain you focus on and stuff.
Mhm.
Like if you focus on domain 4, then perfect, because that means like we can just continue this next time. Um,
Yeah.
and then we just
Well,
like yeah, when we just come here, we can just go straight to the questions and
okay.
like
Can I
talkers.
know,
Yeah.
yeah, can I know what domains you're focused on so far? It's just so I can try to catch up on that. Uh,
So yeah, like right now, what have I done? So right now I am just on domain 4. There's so much. Domain 4 I think is the longest anyway.
that's that's all you're focused on so far.
Right now all of these ones.
Okay.
So I've
Uh,
done all the check ones.
okay.
Tool use
Domain
for
four.
like this is what I'm saying. Tool I haven't explicitly learned tool use, so I don't know why it's like talking to
Yeah.
me about tool use. But I have gone through something that's similar to tool use. And so that's the problem. And so this is also from the study guide from GitHub, so it's not just an exam guide.
Yeah.
So this one I just started. So this is what building with Claude API, that module is
Mhm.
mainly domain 4. There's the tool design MCP, there's the agent architecture, there's the Claude code configuration and workflow and context management,
Mhm.
and reliability, but I haven't really touched those yet.
Okay.
So,
So I think for the next call, it's going to be on Thursday. Do you aim to focus on any other domain than four for
um,
Thursday?
I'm just finishing up all these. I'm going
Yeah.
whatever building with Claude gives me. I would assume is everything here, so I'm just focusing on that. And can
Hmm.
we do like
I'm
either
gonna
t
take a screenshot.
yeah,
Yeah.
I can just share it, but yeah, just screenshot this, and I can also do tomorrow. I could do Wednesday or Thursday, Friday. Oh, not Friday.
Can you do Thursday?
Thursday I could do. I have a big event Thursday. I could do maybe
Oh,
at like 10 p.m., 11 p.m. my time.
PST? Okay. So
11
that
p.m.
would,
ET, so 8 p.m. your time.
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
With that, yeah, I think it's pretty, I think there will be more people too. There's gonna be Lawrence, 30.
Yeah. Are they interested?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So more than happy to have more people. I'm literally just trying to do this with more people as well.
Yeah, maybe Connor too, I think. I talked to them about it. I don't know. I did not get the chance to talk to more people than that, but
That's okay. It's good that you're talking to more people. I feel bad. I haven't reached out to anybody. So
it's
I'm
okay.
just like, all right, let's record this. Let's put it out.
Yeah,
And let
there's
other
just so
people.
much we can do.
Yeah. But
Stay
yeah,
fun.
let's do Thursday night and I can only do domain 4 if that's the case.
Okay, sweet.
The
That's
ones that we
that. I like that. It's not more than that. For
right now.
the purpose of catching up. So that's cool.
Yeah. Um,
Um,
but yeah, if we get cut off, this was fun. We have a solid
yeah,
plan.
thank you. Yeah, I like that. And then thank you for taking the time to show everything
Yeah.
you set up on Claude. That's pretty cool. And yeah, can I ask you